Hello, friends. It has been a while. Um, I appreciate y'all coming to watch some chess with me. I'm going to try and get a longer time control in. It's been a couple months since I uploaded a video, but I feel like maybe all my intros are starting to sound like that at the moment. I've been very sporadic and very busy with the professional life, and spending a lot of time playing Blitz. Blitz and Bullet, actually, more Bullet than anything, which has been terrible for my game overall, I'm sure. Few longer time controls that I have gotten have been 10-minute games, so my rating has dipped a bit since my last post, I'm sure, but um, played a few 10-minute games just to try and get the longer time controls in, and we get the white pieces to start. Okay, we'll go e4. Here's okay. So as a general rule, I take the center if I'm allowed to. It's going to go to Czech Pirc, I think, is what this is. And I'm tempted to develop my Queen's Knight first because it's very common in the periods that I launch a kingside attack. He launches a queenside one. But why don't we go ahead and get our bishop out first? Let's just not show all our cards just yet. I don't necessarily want to put the knight in front of the F pawn because I want to retain the option to push it. And I think I just want to put the bishop there. Since this pawn can't be attacked easily, except by pushing the e pawn. So the queen comes out. If I bring knight to c3, he's probably going to push b4 or b5 and threaten b4 just to kick that knight around. Um, I wish I was a little more up on my theory for the periods, but what do you do? Let's go ahead and push the f pawn now. Just commit to our kingside assault since the queen has come off of its diagonal. Not too worried about things. So let's bring our other bishop out and let's justify some opening principle here and do bishops before knights. So that's preparing the square. Maybe bringing the knight here to attack the bishop, win the bishop pair. So I'm tempted to push h3 just to secure the square. Is that a wasted move? I don't think so. I'm going to go h3 to secure this g4 square. He gets his knights out like a good principled chess player, knights before bishops. But it's not going to stay there. He's going to redeploy, maybe. I still suspect he's wanting to go b5. So let's get our king's knight out first. And if he takes in the center, I don't know. Okay. So he's wanting to castle kingside. That's expected. I'm kind of thinking about knight to d2, but what is the future of the knight there? It's defending the center, overprotecting the e pawn, allows a c3 push. but it also avoids this idea of b5, b4. Takes a square away from my queen, which I do typically like having on the d file on d2 with a rook behind it after castling. Um, so why not go d2, queen d2 now? Go queen d2. And I suppose I'm retaining the option of knight a3, knight c4, and uh, pressurizing e5 further. Right now he has one, two, three defenders. I have one, two, three attackers. I don't want to go there now though and invite beef. I mean, it still invites b4, b5 because that's keeping my knight out of the square. I'd rather him show me his cards first. Let's go queen d2. Hey, he goes c5, moving the pawn twice, but definitely threatening here. If I push, he pushes, and I'm forced to abandon my e pawn. If I reinforce, I can back it up. I can still castle kingside with relative safety. Have a half, like potentially half open F file to work with. So we support it with C3. He castles kingside. And I think at this point I do want to also castle kingside. This knight, I don't know. I mean, this knight only has here right now anyway. Here with these two squares in mind. It's basically where he wants to be. But he has the option to retreat as well. Let's get this knight. Is he threatening anything? I don't think black is really threatening anything. So let's get the knight out. Makes sense. He wants to keep my knight out of here. And if I come here, he's just going to kick it. And I'm going to be forced right back. So there's no rush. I may want to come here anyway. So let's just get castled. Let's just castle kingside. Yeah, I've got a few holes around my king, but all of these pieces are dominating the center. Um, this bishop's terrible. My rooks are connected. His are not. I like white. Okay. Wants to get this bishop out and target this weak pawn. Really just stodge up this whole diagonal, but that takes away a break. I could do that after he develops the bishop too, so I don't have to do it now. Um, so what are my plans? I'd really love to get this kingside assault going. I could half open the F file. First, he takes back with the pawn, and then I can seal the diagonal with a passed pawn. A protected passed pawn looks nice. That seals my light square bishop out of the action on the king side, though. But give and take, give and take. I think an protected pass pawn is a nice thing to have. So yeah, let's trade a flank pawn for a central pawn. Let's go and take. And can I just march? It'll be easily blockaded, but that'll be a nice endgame advantage. Alternatively, I could think about bringing the rook over and protecting the pawn by moving the bishop. Let's protect this pawn. It does seem like an important pawn to defend. And if he liquidates here, 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 okay. Is he really going to clamp down here? Hmm. So I'd already kind of planned on the knight coming this direction. Is he going to push again and threaten to open things up here? I'm not sure. If he does that, that would just open up this square for the knight, and it's protected by the bishop, so I'm not worried about this opening up. 7 minutes, 20 seconds. Opponent still has over 15. Opponent's playing very quickly, and I am taking my time. Maybe too much time. I don't know. This just pushing here looks very nice, but it does commit. It's really committal. Um, well, stacking rooks. I did just move this rook over, though. Hmm. I have one, two, three protectors on this. He only has one, two attackers. But if this all trades down here, there could be the potential of a pin. Takes, 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 takes. The bishop here or the queen here. And if the bishop's not here defending the key or defending the pin, let's just move our king off of the diagonal in case this diagonal opens up. 6 minutes, 19 seconds. Took me a further minute to talk that out. I'm gonna have to start playing a little more quickly. Although I think my moves are pretty solid. Maybe swing the queen over here too to form a battery. Kind of wondering if he's going to put a rook here or here. And that might line up some sort of skewer to win the exchange with the queen here or here. He's got to be careful about where he puts his rooks. I imagine he's tempted to relieve some tension in the middle here. If he does that, takes, takes, takes. I like my pieces in the middle of the board a lot more than I like blacks. Hmm. Well, he got under 15 minutes, so he's finally using times. It does make sense to fiend kettle the light square bishop. That's a forcing move. I'd have to figure out what I want to do there. Do I want to move the dark square bishop and protect it, or do I want to advance the pawn and commit to a passed pawn? So I have little choice here. I can go back this way or this way, and I need to keep this protected. So it's back here, and I think all the way back so that I leave this space for the knight. Otherwise, my knight's going to get trapped. So all the way back. Maybe pushes here and here, here, here. My knight. Well, no, this be undefended. He can't push here yet. Maybe swinging the rook over or the queen. Okay, he's going to double attack the pawn, knight, and queen. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Maybe he's expecting to push here now with this pawn defended. That does seem to really hamper the light square bishop. But also hangs this pawn. So can I take? He takes, attacking my queen. Uh, I take, he takes. Then I attack the bishop and win the bishop. Would he be able to defend it? He would not be able to defend it. I could give him that up. I could just takes, pawn takes, knight takes, bishop takes, queen takes, bishop here, bishop c5, attacks the queen and attacks the bishop, and the queen doesn't get to defend. So we just take the pawn. Because I'm going to win the piece if he takes that bishop. This was hanging. He didn't think that through very well. Tactics, 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 tactics. You could take the bishop and get a rook and a bishop for a queen, which is, it's okay. It's pretty playable. This knight over here is out of play. Here, and here maybe, yeah. Threaten the rook, threaten the knight, and have some pressure on the F file. Yeah. Okay, maybe he wants to come back here or here to attack the queen. But I want to get my knight in the game, so this is a pretty safe bet right here, just getting the knight into play. He can win a pawn, but he chooses to go back and consolidate his position, um, which I can't blame him for. So let's attack the rook, and let's centralize our knight with the threat of coming here. He could, of course, attack my queen, but I just repositioned my queen. He could attack it here as well. Um, and I'll just drop back a square. That pin, he can pin the knight there. Let's go back 2 squares. Yeah, I don't want to allow him to pin. Okay. He's gonna try and really pressure me with time because he's down material. A bishop and a rook for a queen. He's got the bishop pair as well. So not to be underestimated. How about we come here and attack the bishop? Is that wins a bishop for a knight, or he's got to disconnect his rooks, and I get a amazing outpost. And then I just slide this other knight over here. Okay, he chooses to disconnect his rooks. Um, well then, should I follow this knight? Maybe leave this protection on the pawn for now. Let's just claim this outpost because that's a beautiful outpost for the knight. Pressurize f7. Could take a bishop if oh, that just wins a piece. What is he doing there? I think he just was trying to put the pressure on me with time and did not see that that just lost a piece. And now he can resign. Good game, friend. Let's go to a game review. I feel pretty comfortable with how I played that. 77.8%, not my best play. Only a 1900 game rating. Opening was questionable. Opponent really struggled. But I'll take credit for some of that because I had reason behind my moves, and while it may not have been theory, it was enough to confound my opponent out of book. So, book. This move is not, it's good, but not book. When typical to develop the knight first. Um, I wanted to just retain the option of going into I forget if that's the Austrian or the 150 attack. I don't remember what it's called, but one of those two, where castling queenside is common. Um, I don't I don't remember all my theory in the Czech Pirc here, so it was enough to just kind of get my opponent in an uncomfortable position. I should have developed the I should have pushed the pawn to c3 to defend rather than the bishop. I don't know. That didn't make maybe it makes some sense. Just threatening to keep a strong center if he had decided to take. Oh, oh, excuse me. Um, Another good move, but not a great move. Still wants me to push c3. I guess that does open the queen up as well. So some ideas there. Um, Computer really wants him to just take. But my opponent kind of got into my game by keeping the tension because I have a dominant center, and I don't know. I don't know. If I was black, I probably would have tried to create more space. But this move was a little erroneous. I should have claimed more space myself here by pushing c4. Um, okay. I thought piece development was more prudent, but it doesn't lose all that much advantage. This was a mistake. It did not like my queen push, and it actually gives a slight edge to black. Understandable. It does keep my knight from developing towards the center. Um, mm, yeah, looking at this position, I don't know how black punishes it though. Not off the top of my head. He should have pushed in the center. Okay. Claimed more space here. He pushed the wrong pawn, maybe. Um, what does pushing in the center do for him? If he pushes here, I've really, I don't know that I have an option but to take because the pawn's hanging. I can't try to defend because he just kicks me out and the pawn still hangs. So I think I've got to take if he pushes here. And that gives him a strong center. He could even come up with his knight, claim the bishop pair maybe. But I think this idea of opening the queen up to the c file for black. Thankfully, he did not push that. I need to. Hmm. He thought I should have taken. It's a missed opportunity to push c3 here, and black still has an edge. Okay. I didn't see where else the knight was going to go. I should have taken in the center though. Opened things up a bit. I like to slow play in this position though. It seemed like my opponent was also in the mood to slow play it, so I think like if I have more space and more like central control, then that just I think it favors white, and it does. Computer says it's dead even, but I don't know. I should have sealed the center instead of castling. Meh. That was the best move, was to take. And I shouldn't have gotten the rook involved. I should have just taken the pawn. Hmm. Okay. That actually gives an edge to black. A full pawn edge, moving the king. What does that allow? Thought, I mean, if takes, that looks okay. Oh, he should have brought his knight over. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I guess I would have been forced to come back to protect that square. That would have given him this one. That would have been a nicely positioned knight. I probably should have seen that maneuver coming with this piece placement. And I kind of would have expected my opponent to be able to see that too. I don't know. Maybe he was in a phone call, so this just dropped a piece. This was the best move, but it's still white only has a point four edge because he gets the bishop and the rook. So it's it's not a huge advantage for white, but it is unbalanced, definitely unbalanced. And I'm okay with an unbalanced position. I have a queen, but I'm only at point one on the eval bar. Um, but I still felt pretty good about the position overall. He should have developed a new piece, and that makes perfect sense. He should have just gotten his bishop out and active. And it makes sense for me to get my knight out, get my knight back in the game at least. And I don't think I really falter from here. Wants me to come over here. what end? I guess double attacking here. Takes with check. Rook blocks. Knight comes in. No, maybe the knight doesn't come in. Yeah, because that opens the rook. So the bishop can't take because queen takes. Yeah, and I feel very comfortable here. Yeah, he just gave me a free piece. All right, friends. Thanks for coming back to watch some chess. I know it's been sporadic. I know it's been a long time since my last post. They'll keep coming though. I appreciate you all subscribing. I saw I had a few new subscribers in the last uh, few weeks or month or so. So thank you all for subscribing. Thank you for watching some chess and enjoying my chess growth. Come back and enjoy some more.